stopped. We have work to do.
Teku. The Teku are determined to race on their own terms. They drive some of the most exotic and modified sports cars on the street. The Teku are the ultimate in advanced high-tech and expensive high fashion, and they have the cars and drivers to prove it.
Adam Accel Carter. Adam Carter is the arrogant, cocky, and overconfident 24-year-old leader of the Teku racing team. While the driver might not know much about his fellow racers due to his abrupt call to leadership following the passing of Tom Passaro, he's got the skills from being a street breed driver in the world race to back up his position. Chris Acera. As the quiet and introverted scout of the Teku, you wouldn't expect Chris Acera to be one able to hold their own in a race if you had just met them. However, Chris knows his stuff when it comes to vehicles, with quick and agile cars and a brave personality that can back up his skills. Daryl Storm. Throughout the years, Daryl Storm has racked up upwards of 25 street racing wins and become a big name in the California scene. Despite racing for fun and not for victory on the streets, the racing realms have made him rethink his tactics, and now strives to be a serious and skilled driver that can always lend a hand. Taki-Eyed. Taki-Eyed has always been the aggressive man within the Teku, fighting with every member for his own self-intent. Not much of his past is known besides his Japanese origins, but what is known is his modified Mazda RX-8 R3 named Synchro. He also doubts Adam's leadership abilities, believing he has the driving skills to be a great Teku leader. Raytheon Dallas. Though his southern upbringing gives Raytheon Dallas a wild and cowboy-like personality, he was raised around radio stations and television, which gave him a distinct fondness to the music the Teku are known for. He also has thorough knowledge in car construction and repair, though he isn't professional.
Metal Maniacs. The Metal Maniacs are a bunch of burly, brawling, and bare-knuckled drivers. They have a raucous and reckless style, and cars bristling with spikes, jagged edges, and balls of fire.
Thomas Schmidt. The rough-and-tumble leader of the Metal Maniacs is a no-nonsense driver with a history under his belt. Thomas Schmidt is well known as a retired three-time winner of dirt racing competitions, as well as a member of the Scorchers in the World Race. Now tasked by Torquematics to lead the Metal Maniacs, Thomas has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and the racing realms make it even heavier. Miles McCutcheon. With as much experience with rust buckets and damaging vehicles Miles McCutcheon holds, it's not an overstatement to consider him the mechanic of the Metal Maniacs. Not much of a racer himself, Miles prefers to be in the garage preparing the team's cars for the next race. But if he has to, he will step up and get behind the wheel. Vincent Vin Awar. Vincent Awar is the newest and least experienced member of the Metal Maniacs, but the 17-year-old brings a quick wit and adaptability to the table. Initially, you'd expect the young and impressionable driver to favor the Teku, judging by the 24/7 vehicle he got from sneaking into the world race. But looks can be deceiving, as the rookie has proven to be a loyal member to the Maniacs.
Christopher C.J. Lloyd. Known as the Speed Demon in street racing rings, you wouldn't expect Christopher Lloyd to be such a calm and level-headed individual. The veteran Metal Maniac is one of the few to disregard their rivalry with the Teku, caring less about the Maniacs and more about being equal. Despite the challenges of the racing realms, CJ trudges on with confidence. Chris Masakura. Perhaps the least likely candidate for a Metal Maniac driver, Chris Masakura is a Japanese-born man with a Japanese vehicle whose allegiance lies with the Metalheads rather than the Tuner Alliance of the Teku. Growing up accustomed with vehicles, Chris has superior knowledge of cars. However, unlike his teammate Miles, he prefers to use it on his own inventions rather than assisting his teammates.